Welcome to the Old Mutual Two Oceans Marathon video series. In this video, we are going to take a close look at the 21.1 kilometer half marathon route with information provided by Professor Ross Tucker. The Old Mutual Two Oceans half marathon may not take in the spectacular Chapman's Peak climb, but it remains one of the great races in South Africa, with some beautiful tree-lined roads and amazing crowd support, as well as a few stiff challenges of its own. Let's take a look and see what you can expect. The race starts on Main Road and soon turns off into Protea Road, where the road becomes progressively narrower with 16,000 runners all jostling for their space on the road. So be prepared for this and do not become reckless or impatient. Once you make the left turn onto Edinburgh Drive at the 1.5 kilometer mark, the road kicks up in stages. The first kilometer is moderately steep, and then it gets a little steeper for the next kilometer. It will still be dog at the stage, and along with the adrenaline, plus the huge crowd of runners around you, can tempt you into pushing a little too hard here. So keep an eye on your pace and look to get to the top near the 4K mark feeling like you've eased into the race rather than sprinted into it. Next comes what may be one of the key phases in the race, the descent along the M3. It's very easy to just let go and fly along, perhaps trying to make up some of the time you lost in the first climb, but that is a bad idea at this early stage. If you're not careful, you will pound your legs without realizing it, and find that you're out of punch when you need it on the climbs that lie ahead. You will leave the highway at the 7 kilometer mark and then cross over into Constantia. It is relatively smooth at this point, and you should be able to cover these next 3 kilometers at about your overall average target pace. It's all about the rhythm. Take the opportunity to fuel up with Powerade or Coke and relax. The big climb is on the way. That big climb is Southern Cross Drive, and it starts at the 10.5 kilometer mark. Think of this 2.5 kilometer climb as a staircase with 3 big steps. The first is relatively easy, a few hundred meters long and with a gradual gradient. You then get some respite on a flat section for about a minute, before stage 2, which is quite steep, lasting about 800 meters. Don't panic. It is inevitable that your pace will slow, and remember that you're just over halfway, and there is plenty of opportunity for you to make up this lost time. This third section is quite steep, about 1 kilometer long, taking you to the top and some great crowd support. Once at the top, you'll have the relief of 1 kilometer of descending, and if you've judged the climb well, you will recover fast and feel good. There are 8 kilometers to go, and the racing can start now if you're after a decent time. The next challenge of the Old Mutual Two Oceans Marathon is the camber of the roads as you run beneath and past Cecilia Forest. Try to find the most comfortable line and pace for how you're feeling. From about 14 kilometers, you encounter a series of bumps, where the road kicks up for literally a few hundred meters at a time. It's not by itself a hugely challenging section, but on tired legs, the disruption it causes your rhythm can be difficult. The undulations will get you to the top gate of Kirstenbosch. With just under 6 kilometers to go, here is where you can cash in if you're feeling strong and have managed your race well. There is an incredibly steep downhill section from the top gate of Kirstenbosch to the bottom gate, about 1 kilometer long and super fast on good legs, but equally painful on tired legs if you've not managed your pace properly. The descent continues after the bottom gate of Kirstenbosch, albeit a little more gradually now, and takes you all the way to the 18 kilometer mark. Overall, you'll enjoy about 3 kilometers of uninterrupted downhill running in this section. That all comes to a sudden end when you make the left turn onto the M3 and run straight into Chet's Hill, which is only about 400 meters long and in all honesty is not that steep. But after 3 kilometers of descending, it forces you to suddenly change gears and will feel a lot tougher than it actually is. Once you've crested Chet's Hill, you are so close to home that you can now just go for it. It is flat until you get to 1 kilometer to go, and then there is another small pull-up to UCT that you wouldn't have even noticed at the start, but which feels mighty tough at the stage. After this final hurdle, it is downhill into the finish area at UCT, onto the grass, and the final few meters where you're carried along by the crowd support and your own emotions having conquering the half marathon.